Welcome back. It's countdown to the sound of the closing gong at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and Channel's business correspondent Temple Ashaju is live at the gallery of the trading floor to tell us about market sentiment so far. Temple, what's the sentiment towards Seplat, which has just signed an agreement with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to develop a new gas project in the country?
This is really good to join you on the program, Business Incorporated, but we haven't really seen any reaction of investors now to Seplat. As a matter of fact, the security is still trending at the figure it closed at, that's 650 naira per share, and there's no movement as we speak on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Recall that there's a bond auction as well tomorrow by the Debt Management Office, referring to the August bond auction now. That we see a lot of investors getting ready for that, getting set to buy into that bond auction, which we're going to be seeing the 90 billion naira offered by the federal government over 3 major papers, a 5-year paper, a 7-year, as well as a 10-year paper. These are reopenings that are meant to help fund the 2018 budget by the federal government. But as we speak right now, we have the all share index currently at 35,269.82 with only 105.23 million units of shares exchanged so far for a value of 1.07 billion naira in the market.
Well, thank you very much, Temple Ashaju, for bringing us those updates live from the trading floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics is expected to release Nigeria's July headline inflation data, while analysts at the financial derivatives company are forecasting that the headline inflation will fall for the 18th consecutive month to 11%. Well, I have one of the research analysts at the FDC, Tobiloba Ogunpolo, here in the studio to talk more about this. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, what are the factors responsible for the optimism?
Okay, so we know that headline inflation measures the year-on-year change in prices, and the consensus is that headline inflation is going to decline further. And this will be due to factors such as the base year effect. We know that the macroeconomic indicators this year is different from what we had last year, and so the base year effect comes in play. Also, we've seen that the price of oil prices have declined, and also that would also play into that. We've also seen that the decline in global commodity prices by about 3.73%, and also the forex stability. So the forex has been stable at 360 naira per dollar, and so this has affected the inflation. So we've seen that the month-on-month inflation too is expected to decline further. That's our forecast, so about 1.03%, and this is due to the fact that commodity prices have declined. In July, we saw that some commodity prices declined. We've also seen that diesel prices also declined from about 217 naira in June to about 207 naira in July. So this has also affected the logistic costs. So we've seen that the logistic costs have reduced. So we expect that to have an impact on the month-on-month index. And we've seen that the month-on-month index have been volatile lately. So last month we saw that, in June rather, we saw that the month-on-month inflation increased, and this month we're projecting that it will decline. And that is due to the fact that month-on-month inflation is a better reflection of inflation. So if there's an increase in some commodities or there's a decline in some commodities, we'll see that reflect in the month-on-month inflation. So that's why we're projecting that it will decline further.
Okay, what about reports from many analysts, including that of the IMF, who project that inflation will start to increase soon? Is that not contradictory?
No, this is not a contradiction. So the forecast that we have right now is for July. The forecast for 11% is for July. And so the IMF and ourselves were also projecting that in H2, which is the second half of the year, the inflation will start to inch up. And we don't expect this to just start at the point. We expect in the third quarter, we expect it to flatten out before it starts to inch up. And this will be due to a couple of factors. Looking at the increased liquidity due to election spending, also due to the budgetary spending, we expect this to have an impact on commodity prices. So if the demand for commodities increases, then definitely the price for the commodity will increase. And also the earthquake crisis, the persistent earthquake crisis in the north, we expect this to also have an effect on the demand for commodities. No, we expect that to have an effect on the supply. So if the farmers cannot supply commodities, then definitely the prices of commodities will go up. So we expect these factors to affect the prices of commodities in H2. That's what we have. In H2, we expect prices to start to inch up, while in at the end of Q3, we expect it to flatten out.
Okay, still talking about commodity prices in Nigeria now, we've seen them remain relatively flat, but of course, a decline in July. How does this support the view that the inflation may reach 12 to 13% in December?
Okay, yes. We expect that inflation will reach like that amount and that figure in December, and that is due to the fact that we know December increase in demand for commodities as the festive period commences, and we also know that in December, during the fourth quarter rather, we know that minimum wage, the expected minimum wage review. So if this is put in place, we expect that the demand for more commodities is there, and then that would have an impact on the prices. And we've also seen that NYSC, we heard that they've increased their minimum wage from 19,800 to about 50,000 naira. So imagine if that is put in place, then we expect to see more demand for commodities. So a copper that is probably earning around 19,800 naira and now is blessed with about 50,000 naira. So we expect to see increase in the demand for commodities in the near term.
Okay, now still talking about the price of commodities. Now, for instance, the price of a 100-kilogram bag of onion has increased by 71% this year. What is the reason for the spike in the price of this commodity? And of course, should we expect this trend to continue in the near term?
Okay, yes, the price of onion has increased by about 71%, and that is due to the fact that the demand for the commodity has improved. So the demand for the commodity has improved due to the quality of the onion. So we've noticed that farmers have experienced better rainfall in the period. They've also experienced the ease in the access of to fertilizers due to the incentive of the government, and they've also seen the lower disease infestation of the commodity. So this has an impact on the quality of the produce. So as the quality improves, then demand for the quality for the product also improved, and so the price has increased. So we don't expect this trend to continue because we know that we're close to the harvest season. So as we approach the harvest season, we expect more of the onions, more of the improved onions to be in the market, and we expect to see prices fall in the near term.
I'm sure that's the expectation of many Nigerians. Everybody wants the price of commodities to keep coming down.
Definitely.
But thank you very much, research analyst at the financial derivatives company, Tobiloba Ukukolu, for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
And that's where we end our show today. Thank you for watching. I am BC Adebayo.